the people that we have supported in the year 2025. When I think about on the domestic side, we talk about Miss Rachel. We talk about a friend in Medea Benjamin, the people that have fought on the front lines of these issues, including our friend who just popped up in the chat, Anthony Aguilar. But if there is somebody on the international level that has withstood every single barb and arrow that has been thrown in her direction, it is Francesca Albanese. And I wonder, how much more does she have in her? How much more intestinal fortitude is she willing to fight with in lieu of everything the Zio state is doing to ruin her life and cutting off her credit cards, cutting off her ability to make money, cutting off her ability to get health care? It's overkill. But that's what happens when you expose the truth, is it not?
So they're trying to keep her book from coming out, right? That's what they're trying to do, is make it so that she can't launch her book. Yeah.
So for those who are not familiar, and this is new, Francesca is on the precipice of releasing a book that is new, and it's called, let me see, the book title is, why am I not getting this? Okay.
All right, Tina Bay, we can talk about that at some point. Sorry, I thought you were taking a second to look something up. She wants us to look up the whole James trafficking thing, which is kind of interesting.
So when the world sleeps, stories, words, and wounds of Palestine. So that is her book. And it appears that they really do not want this coming out. Now, why would they not want this to come out, Jen?
Well, for the same reason that they don't want doctors and journalists to go in. It's facts, it's information. So for the same reason, Larry Ellison is playing whack-a-mole with buying up all the media, because they're trying to plug as many holes as possible. They're losing the narrative. They know they're losing the narrative. And they're like closing ranks, and they're just coming down all over the place. But they're ultimately going to lose.
I agree.
It's unfortunate that there's going to be so much collateral damage, and especially for people like Francesca, who should be winning things like the Nobel Peace Prize if it meant anything.
Well, if there's one thing that we learned in the year 2025, it's that the Nobel Peace Prize doesn't mean jack shit.
Oh, nothing.
Fact, it's not something that you actually want.
We learned that when Kissinger won it, though, didn't we?
Yeah.
Like we knew that then. Yeah.
Well, we certainly know a lot more now, that's for sure. Prominent Jewish civil rights group demands Amazon block payments tied to Francesca Albanese's anti-Israel book.
And is this that what's her name? Leora Rez group?
A prominent civil rights.
Oh my God, this guy.
Hey, he can fly with those bad boys.
He could definitely take flight with those babies.
A prominent Jewish civil rights group has warned Amazon that selling a forthcoming book by a U.S.-sanctioned UN official could violate federal sanctions law, and has urged the company to halt related transactions. Mark Goldfeder, head of the National Jewish Advocacy Center, said on X that his organization notified the retail giant that Francesca Albanese, an Italian human rights lawyer, is barred from receiving payments for other economic benefits.
This guy, look at this guy. Oh my. Oh, it's part of me would like punch him, but part of me feels like bless his heart. You know what I mean?
Listen,
look at this guy.
It's bad enough that he is a very nebbish-looking Jewish man. You add in ears that an eagle would envy if he was able to fly. That's really unfortunate. Or even so Dumbo. Yeah, you get stuck with that. You can imagine what type of internal anger that he has built up over the years, and now feels that he's going to have to inflict that anger upon so many others and make them feel his pain. But what he looks like, a young Ben Stein to me. When
If you
Ben
age this guy, yeah, but if you
Stein-
age this guy like, 30, 40 years, he'd look like Ben Stein to me, I think.
the other thing that you have to remember about this, which is very important, Pee Wee Stein. Oh, good God. Paul Rubens was Jewish. Remember that. Albanese is the UN Special Rapporteur on the Palestinian territories who sparked a furor after accusing Israel of genocide. Remember, this is the New York Post, apartheid and settler colonialism. In UN reports and public statements, claims that Israel and the US have rejected as false and anti-Semitic. Here's the thing. This is the National Jewish Advocacy Center. Here's what you have to remember about these organizations. Damn you people with all these freaking ads.
Don't say that. We need people to watch ads.
No. I'm talking about on this channel.
Doesn't matter on any channel.
There are so many of these organizations that pop up all over the place. They are not, just a one-off type situation.
Of course not. No.
Yeah. Stop Anti-Semitism, which is its own NGO. APAC, which is its own NGO. You have the DMFI, Democratic Majority for Israel, is its own.
Kufi.
Kufi. It's everywhere, guys. It's not just one.
No.
Everyone thinks, if we just dealt properly with APAC, that is going to solve the problem. It's not.
Kathy, that's a very good question. If somebody in the chat wouldn't mind looking up, I'm sure you guys are probably much better with the internet than I am, but look up and see if there is a way for those of us to get that, or what way we can get that, because obviously that's the way to do this, is everybody needs to be buying that book. Or if you can't get it, putting in requests on to any retailer to get that book and just making that be a thing. But yeah, for sure.
The U.S. sanctioned Albanese in July, with officials alleging she improperly coordinated with the International Criminal Court and engaged in political and economic warfare against this woman engaged in economic warfare against the U.S. and Israel. Yeah, you're fucking with our grift. That's economic warfare. Goldfeder, we got to come up with a nickname for him. I
liked Pee Wee Shermanstein.
Pee Wee Shermanstein. Okay, so
or Pee Wee Shermanstein. Call him whatever you want to. Feder ears.
Flight, take flight. Someone in the chat's going to come up with something good. Goldfeder argues that Albanese's designation as a specially designated national means all of her property and interests in property are blocked, barring U.S. companies from transferring funds or providing services to her without authorization from the Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control. Under federal law, property and interests and especially designed nationals are blocked and may not be transferred or paid without specific authorization. Yeah, because this elegant woman really is a threat to humanity, I tell you.
Look at her. Seriously, look at her. She's just lovely. She is definitely, I know, I say that, but, now it's like a thing, but she really is very lovely to me.
When the world sleeps, stories, words, and wounds of Palestine. If you are planning on a New Year's resolution to spend a few bucks, besides contributing to revolutionary change, please consider getting a copy of this book.
Yes, now, guys, start looking. I'm not sure. Somebody will put it in the chat. Somebody will figure, okay, the book, Tony D says the book comes out in April. So the book's not out yet. Mm-hmm.
Pluto Crest. But to be honest, guys, if you're going to buy a book online, the last place you want to buy it is Amazon.
Yeah, pay for the shipping. It's like if you are capable of getting a book and the only way to get it is to order it, just pay for the shipping or wait till it comes to the library.
Oh, there's a copy right there.
Good, guys. Yeah, we definitely, and I will too. As soon as we're done tonight, I will too. But yeah, so if they get if the pre-orders for this book are one of those things that goes crazy and breaks the internet or whatever, they're going to just look more and more ridiculous. And then Amazon, because at the end of the day, Bezos is just a whore. So if that's what people want, they'll sell it.
Anybody who is going to rain terror on the rest of the world and is a provocateur of genocide is going to hear my wrath.
Honestly, we only do it for really mean people.
Yeah. People that are inhumane, they deserve it. And Lone Wolf,
it adds a little fun.
Yeah, and Lone Wolf, if you have big ears, I'm sorry, buddy. We wouldn't make fun of you for having big ears because you're not a Zio scumbag like Mr. Shermanstein, even though I know that's not his name, unless maybe you are. Who knows? Point being, this is a book worth reading. In his legal notice to Amazon and other distributors, Goldfeder warned that the company's platform promotes and sells Miss Albanese's publications, directly enhancing her revenue and conferring a financial benefit, which he said falls outside protections for informational materials and could expose a retailer to civil penalties under U.S. sanctions law. Goldfeder rejected allegations of censorship, saying the issue is not the book's content, but whether U.S. companies may legally conduct business with a sanctioned individual. Guess what?
Well,
it's
okay.
about the contents of the book.
I think that's a very good point, though. Like, why would we want to cavort and affiliate with sanctioned individuals? But how come we're okay with cavorting with people that are wanted by the International Criminal Court for war crimes and crimes against humanity and would be arrested if we were a party to the Rome Statute, which we're not because, well, we're us. We don't have to have agreements and we don't follow them anyway. But so I think, like, for me personally, I'm more concerned with the people cavorting with war criminals than I'm concerned about the people cavorting with people under U.S. sanctions. People under U.S. sanctions, countries under U.S. sanctions, they are there because they're interfering with capital. That's why they're there. It has nothing to do with any sort of morality or that these are scary people or anything like that. It has to do with their interfering.
If there is a lesson to be learned here in terms of what's coming in the year 2026 as things start to ramp up and the midterms start to take shape, there is going to be an even greater concerted effort to silence as many dissenters against the Zio state as possible. And that is our job, much as it was our job to bring attention to what happened to Breonna Joy Gray. The same is going to be true for all of these stories. We are using our channel as a vessel to create change, not as a money-making machine. And I implore people that have these channels that make money and have the ability to go to places like Ireland. And if you are not using your platform to share with people how when you come to a country like this, what you realize is that in the US, we're just a bunch of suckers. We're willing to put up with shit that nobody else would ever put up with.
No.
And when we hear about this treatment against somebody like Francesca, one has to look no further than this statement to understand that it has nothing to do with the bullshit excuses that Mr. Dumbo Ears is coming up with. It has to do with this.
710. This is the number of days of absolute horror that the people in Gaza have endured. 65,000 is the number of Palestinians ascertained killed, including of which 75% are women and children.
That's true. The 75% women and children. I'm going to say I will be shocked if by the time I die that this does not get vindicated. It's at least 10 times that. It's at least 10 times 65,000.
The estimate right now, the very, very conservative estimate right now is 700,000. That's how many people are dead. And that's not even accounting for, again, how many people are going to die as a result of malnourishment and how that can be a slow killer that doesn't just happen overnight. So that's another thing that one has to take into account.
In fact, we shall start thinking of 680,000 because this is the number that some scholars and scientists claim being the real death toll in Gaza. And it would be hard to be able to prove or disprove this number, especially if investigators and others remained banned from entering the occupied Palestinian territory, and particularly the Gaza Strip. But if this number is confirmed, 380,000 of these are infants under 5.
I would say that that's a pretty big deal.
And this is why she's being sanctioned.
Of course. It's also a reason why it is imperative that we use our platform to continue to cover this. Think of it this way. How else is Francesca able to make a living? She isn't.
I don't know. And that's a good question. And people in the chat were sort of also talking about that. It's like, even if they were to set up a GoFundMe, she can't get the money. Like, that's the problem with what they're doing to her, is they're making it really, and again, she's being punished for literally doing her job.